Hey there, it's Kay, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today I'll be going over my budget goals for this new year of 2021. But before I get into it, if you're returning to my channel, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. And if you're new to my channel, I would love to see you follow me on my journey through this new year. So I'd love to see you hit the subscribe button down below and also the notification bell so that you know when I upload. And I'm just very excited to finally be in a new year and to share with you guys all of the aspirations I have for my budgeting journey this year. So without further ado, let's get into it. So for this year, I have made a few small physical changes to my budget book. I have added these very large black expander discs that I got from Staples. Because I'm going to be fitting a lot of sheets in here. I've also upgraded to premium copy paper. So it's previously I was using a 20-pound paper, and now I'm going to be using this nice 32-pound paper. So that's why I decided to expand my discs since it is a thicker paper, and I'll be adding more pages. I'll need a lot more room. And I did just kind of add this little dashboard here that I made with my Cricut. And here is my budget goals page that I made. And I also made, we'll get to it pretty soon, my debt payoff plan pages are like the exact same format. But this budget goals page that I made, it uses all of the same like categories that I normally use on one of my budget sheets. So my income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, sinking funds, extra debt payments, and extra savings. So like you can see, it's all of the same categories I normally put in my actual budget. So I decided that I wanted to base my goals off of all of those categories. And I brought out some miscellaneous stickers and my highlighters just to make it a little decorative. So let's find some bullet points so that I can put some bullet points on this page. Oh, there's black. I saw black bullet points. So let's get started first with income goals. My first income goal is going to be for my regular day job, and it's going to be to work my maximum amount of hours allotted for the week. So let's see, work max allowed labor hours. That's probably the most condensed way I can put that, but recently I've been cut down to about 32 hours a week, so I have been hitting my 32 like on the dot, and eventually it'll go back up so I can do like 36 to 40. In my position to maintain my full-time status, I do have to work a minimum of 32, and so previously I was just hitting my 32 and then just calling it a week. But I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do as much as I can to make as much money as I can from my regular job. And I do have a secondary income goal. And that's going to be some side hustle income. At the beginning of last year, when my budget was super tight and I didn't really have extra money to make extra debt payments, I started decluttering a lot of my possessions on like Poshmark and Mercari. So that's going to be something that I want to start up again. The second source, I opened up an Etsy shop. I have a couple of printables available online since I know some people have been asking for my budget sheets. So I made January's budget sheets, paycheck budget and monthly budget. So those are available in my shop right now to purchase and download as a PDF. And I don't think this will happen until maybe the very end of the year, but I'd love to get monetized on YouTube. I'm not expecting to make, crazy Jake Paul money or anything, but even just a small amount of ad revenue coming in every month would be able to help me put maybe an extra $30 a month away in savings or add to my debt snowball or something. But obviously I cannot do that goal without you guys. So all the likes, comments, and subscribers would mean so much to me to help me hit that goal. So those are my income goals for the year. Let's move on to fixed expenses. Now, I had already done a lot of fine tuning last year for my fixed expenses, trying to get them like as low as possible. So there's pretty much like no behavior that needs to change. What I ended up doing was just cutting out a few subscriptions that I didn't necessarily need. So for fixed expenses, a goal will just be no new subscriptions. Next, let's move down to variable expenses, and that's a category I feel like I can always work on. But I feel like where I have been overspending is probably in terms of, I think, food, just overall, both grocery and eating out. So I'm gonna be like watching out. So I definitely want to watch food spending, which includes grocery and eating out. Because the cost of food has risen so much this year, and also just because I generally have a little more wiggle room in my budget than I did like a year ago. I'm not like super duper concerned, but I would like to maybe eventually cut $20 to $40 a month out of that budget because that's money that I could be saving. So I feel like a lot of this is going to be a behavioral thing, just kind of like with the fixed expenses. Maybe I just need to be more conscious of like sale prices and impulse buying and things like that. So I am going to try and watch my food spending for the first couple months of the year and just make sure it's not just a me thing and maybe it's just the food prices overall. All right, now let's move on to sinking funds. So in my December debt snowball update, I did mention that overall I was going to cut back my snowball amount. And that was because I wanted to make sure I was consistently saving in some of my sinking funds every single month. I've become very aware that the reason that I was in so much credit card debt is because I wasn't able to save for a lot of unexpected circumstances, and because almost the entire year of 2020 was an unexpected circumstance. I need to just be more prepared than ever for small everyday things like, maybe my tire blows or I need emergency dental care or something like that. So I am making a commitment to myself to... Oop, pen's dying. Oop, that was supposed to be a 1. No, and I'm not using my erasable pen. I'm making a commitment to myself to save $100 or more in my sinking funds every month. And this could be saved, like I could maybe alternate it and be like 100 car maintenance one month, 100 medical the next month, or I might just split it however I see fit. But overall, I feel like I need to save more money to help me stay out of debt. I feel like that's just a really, really important factor in my financial well-being. So for my sinking funds, overall, I just gotta save $100 every month, and that'll be $1,200 a year, which is pretty much like the average I would spend a year on, like car work or something. So even if I have to borrow money out of other envelopes, at least like the goal is just to have the money there. So for extra debt payments, which ties directly to what I said for my sinking funds, we are lowering the debt snowball. We're lowering it to $300 because previously my snowball was $400, but I'm taking the $100 away for saving in my sinking funds. So for the debt payments, I will be lowering my debt snowball. However, I know that in the future there will be months where I'll be able to pay significantly more than that, in which I will. But for now, on my low basic income before I start traveling again, debt snowball will be $300 instead of $400 or $450. The other thing, hold on, I'm gonna grab these little credit card guys, because the other thing that is a goal for this year and that I know is 100% going to be possible is that I will be credit card debt free. I will be able to pay off my last credit card. And with paying off that last credit card, that means I will be able to start paying off my student loans, which is the large majority of my debt pretty much now. And those student loans are at a much lower interest than my credit card debt, which is why I was trying to aggressively pay off my credit card debt as soon as possible. And my last card that I'm on, which is my credit union Visa card, the interest rate's about 10%. So it is being paid down much quicker than my other cards were. And my last budget category, which is my extra savings category, I do have a goal for, which involves my bills checking account that I started. I'm gonna turn that into a month ahead account eventually. So my bills checking, I want to turn it into a month ahead account. Turn into month ahead account. This is definitely going to be a goal that's going to take probably the entire year to accomplish, because the way that I've envisioned getting it done is while I'm doing my paycheck budgets, any just sort of like odds and ends dollars that are left over, just stuffing them in the account as I go. So as I collect these variable deposits in there, eventually it should grow to the amount that I would need for an entire month's of expenses, which I can then use to stay ahead on my bills and not have to worry too much about crafting the entire budget around, like I'll just be able to be like, well, I already have the month, here's the month, and I might just be able to do monthly budgets at that point too. And I'm looking at this here and I feel like it just needs a little more color or something. And I'm gonna take these two circle stickers because I think they're gonna fit up top. So this one says wish less, plan more, and this one says you can do this. It's not the most colorful thing in the world, but you know what? It's the effort that counts, and I put a lot of thought and effort into these goals, and I'm very, very excited to have a new year to achieve them. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to my channel, I would love to see you subscribe and follow me on my journey, and I hope to catch you in the next video. So peace out.